Hello everyone, my name is Mansi Gujaria. In a third day of presentation, I will discuss about a post-colonial study in Bollywood. Here is my personal information. And first, we are discuss about what is a post-colonial study and theory. Post-colonial theory is a body of thought primarily concerned with according to, for the political, aesthetic, economic, historical, and social impact of European colonial rule around the world in the 18th through the 20th century. Post-colonial theory take many different shapes and interventions. The prefix post-colonial theory has been rigorously debated, but it has never implied that colonialism has ended. Post-colonialism is a critical academic study of the cultural, political, and economic legacy of colonialism and imperialism, focusing on the impact of human control and exploitation of colonized people and their lands. Post-colonial theory has influenced the way we read text, the way we understand national and transnational histories, and the way we understand the political implications of our own knowledge as a scholar. First, we are discuss about Lagan movie. Lagan, once upon a time in India, 2001 Indian Hindi language epic musical sports drama film, written and directed by Ashutosh Govarikar. The film was produced by Amir Khan, who started alongside debutant Gracie Singh and British actor Russell Shelley and Paul Blackthorne set in 1893 during the late Victorian period of India's colonial British Raj. The film follows the inhabitants of a village in central India who burdened by tax and several years of drug are challenged by an arrogant British Indian Army officer to a game of cricket as a wager to avoid paying a tax they own. The villagers face uh, the arduous task of learning a game that is aligned to them to play for a victory. The male narrator voice at the end of Lagan suggested that the movie's project has been to recover the experience of a specific and distinction historical practice of a subaltern group, which has been lost or hidden by the process of elitist historiography. Resilient Rosalient O. Henlon identifies a basic model of explanation, beneath tremendous variety in empirical materials of the subaltern studies historian, a longer tradition of explanation of or a shorter term economic dislocation, which provokes resistance and rebellions, challenging landlords or agents of the state that appropriation or destruction uh, of the sign and instruments of their authority. Lagan movie follow the similar pattern. Now we are discuss about reading cricket fiction in the times of Hindu nationalism and farmer society. This is a post-colonial theories attempt to read the cricket nationalism portrait in a Oscar-nominated Bollywood film Lagan as one of that subverb the civilizing mission of British colo- colonial colonialism and also restore the agency of the subaltern class. Instead, it will argue that the cricket nationalism replicated Indian Bourgeoisie nationalism, which has not a place for the subaltern in its imaginary. It will also argue that the post-colonial thesis of decolonization and indigenization of cricket, supposedly achieved by Lagan, is a marked by a culturalism that does not take into account factors such as a capital class and caste that dominate the institution of cricket in India. Finally, against post-colonial thesis, tendency to read a text in isolation from the context. It will be contended that the cricket nationalism of the film can not be understood by locating it in a relation of presence, socio-historical conjunction, whether in forces of capital and nationalism are hegemonic, uh, resistant and independence. Ashutosh Koshwarikar's Lagan is epic essay on cricket, the British Empire and the collective will of a group of village and farmers. The film joined the ranker of the elite group of Indian films to be nominated for an academic award. Lagan quickly acquired to acquired the label of contemporary classes and revived the career of film star Amir Khan. It offered a delight and critically engaged study of a film. It cover areas such as audience response to the film, representation of British Raj, colonialism and imperialism, song and dance as a narrative storyteller, the ideological value of religion, and a sports film as a vehicle of explanation national concern. Now we are discuss about the post-colonial theme in Lagan movie. In this film, the colonizer are portrayed as a center of the superpower, and the colonizer portrayed as the other. It gives the colonized the perception that they are inferior to the colonizer. England was one of the superpower during colonization in India, and this is very evidence in the film. For instance, in the movie, the or antagonist Captain Russell is the decision maker, and the villagers have no other choice but to follow them. There is a cultural tradition that cuts through Gillis Dan to cricket. The rejection of white femininity is highly apprehensive here. The religious story is added perhaps as an attempt to make a sense of relationship that's about colonialism without use of colonialism. In other words, it's trying to discuss the facts that is about race and colonialism by using a religion as an alternate framework. Elizabeth represents the goodness of colonization, and Rochelle, on the other hand, represents the evilness of colonization. The winner of the match at the end constructs the overall view of decolonization. Now we are discuss a leadership lesson from we are learning in this movie. Look at problems as an opportunity. The British ruler Captain Russell offered a deal to Bhuvan. The deal was to play a cricket match against the Englishmen. Team Bhuvan won. They would waive the tax for the next 3 years. It is a Britishers who, if the Britishers won, then they would triple the tax amount. Was the main move the villagers who did not know the games. Although extremely risk, Bhuvan accepted the challenge. He took it as an opportunity to bring freedom for tax for the entire province. Have a clear vision. When Bhuvan accept the challenge, his vision was 3 years of no tax. The villagers thought that it was impossible to learn an alien game to play to win it. But that is how dreams started, don't they? It always seems impossible until it is done. In this case, he not only dream about winning, he also put a place a clear strategy to make his dream a reality. Post-colonial and post political resistance. The post-colonial and political resistance are portrayed in the movie Lagan. Before digging the roots of the film, it is important to have a glance at a historical and political background. The Britishers set foot in Indian soil for trade, and later they colonized the entire country. Uh, Lagan is a recollection of the past history of India, set in a village area inhabited with locals. They play their part by resisting the tax imposed by the Britishers by challenging them in a game of cricket. Lagan is also fictional setting in the never aligned except. In a conclusion, the film Lagan serves as a compelling lens through which to explore the post-colonial narrative in Bollywood cinema. It is not only capture the struggle of cultural present preservation and resistance against Bollywood colonial rules, but also symbolize the border quest for independence in India. Through its cinematic elements and narrative, Lagan contributes to the discourse on post-colonial in Indian cinema, making it in significance and provoking works that resonate with audience both in India and around the world. Uh, Here is my work citation, and thank you.